He's Bob Kravitz, WTHR in Indianapolis, a TV commentator. Oh, look at him, Mr. TV. But it was his column, though, that started it all off. Bob, good morning. How are you?
I'm splendid. How are you, sir?
I'm spectacular. Are you enjoying? Will you enjoy this weekend a little bit more than normal?
Oh, sure. Because we're in the business of telling stories, and it's hard to beat the story. I mean, all the subplots, and it's kind of semi football game, semi morality play. I mean, yeah, if you can't get more interested in this than Colts in Jacksonville, then you're probably in the wrong business.
All right, recap your column for those who the uninformed. Recap your column, when it was, and what you said in that column.
You mean the original one?
The original.
Well, actually, the original one wasn't even a column. It was just a succession of tweets that our desk very smartly turned into a story. I was trying to run down all kinds of sources and try to make sense out of the nonsensical. But basically, the Cliff Notes version of it was that I got a text probably around 10:15. Didn't see it, unfortunately, until about midnight. Called back this source who said, call me immediately, and got this information, and then spent the next 20 minutes or so. I got out the old black book and tried to reach out to virtually everybody I know who would be in a position to know whether this was true. Quite frankly, I thought I was going to have to wait till the next morning to get the thing confirmed, because a story like this, you can't go with one source. I've been in this business too long to know that you can't. This is not a one-source story. But I lucked out. I was able to find somebody, a secondary source, who said, if you write it, you won't be wrong, and went with it. And then I watched Twitter explode.
This is after the AFC title game, and
Exactly.
The Colts are blown out. Do you think that somebody wanted you to break this story? You, an Indianapolis guy, to break this?
That's an interesting story, or interesting question. I hadn't really thought about it. Yeah, maybe so, because Indy was, quote unquote, victimized in this whole thing, besides the fact they got their tails kicked. But yeah, 99 times out of 100, Mort or Schefter or, La Canfora or somebody on a national scale, Peter King, would have gotten this. So yeah, I think my original source wanted for me to have it, and felt comfortable that I wasn't going to out that person, and that I was going to handle it in a deft and professional way.
Is this truly good versus evil Sunday night?
Well, it depends on which side of what your zip code is.
Let's say you're neutral. Let's say you're neutral watching this game on Sunday night. You're not from Indy, or you're not from New England.
Well, if you feel like the Patriots tried to cheat, and the fact of the matter is they are out 2 draft choices and $1 million, then I certainly think you look at the Patriots as the face of evil. And now if you're inclined to think that snitches get stitches, and that the Colts ratted them out, and that it was a big sting operation, I think it's a morality play. I do think it's good versus evil. It just kind of depends on your worldview in that sense.
Is the story over?
God, no. I'm not sure it ever will be, but I think there'll be some closure here on Sunday night, but it's still going to end up in a federal court probably next February. So we're going to go through this whole rigmarole all over again with, I'll be doing a lot of reading and, talking to legal people that I know, and trying to figure, make sense of the whole thing. So, no, I don't think we're close to over.
We had a unscientific poll question that was going to be for about 7 minutes prior to your appearance. McLevin, give the wording on the poll question update, and then we'll talk to Bob about it.
Do you think the Patriots cheated? 64% say yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And the fact of the matter is, it's funny. I get all these tweets and emails and stuff from New Englanders who are like, "Well, we didn't do anything wrong." So look, Tom Brady, for whatever reasons, Judge Berman determined were salient. He got off. But the bottom line is they got docked 2 draft choices, a first and a fourth, and were fined $1 million. And that's not for looking good. You know, they did something. I believe they took needles to those footballs. There was a reason why they were more underinflated or were deflated beyond the way the Colts footballs were deflated. So, yes, I do believe that they cheated or at least attempted to cheat. And the crazy thing is they didn't need to do it because they could have beaten the Colts that day with a bar soap.
What'd you make of Joe Montana's comments? I don't know if you saw him on the NFL Network, where he said to Andrew Siciliano, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, that's sort of sad to me. Look, everybody tries to do a little bit of something, you know, whether it's performance-enhancing drugs or whether it's, you know, I remember with the Broncos when I covered them back in the 90s, those guys made liberal use of Vaseline. The offensive linemen did. So, you know, it's one thing to look for an edge. It's another thing to try and alter the mess with the integrity of the game. And I just think, you know, I keep hearing from people saying this is no big deal. Well, ask the Baltimore Ravens. You know, they were in a close game in very cold conditions up in Foxborough. Brady went, I don't know the number exactly, but I think he went 9 for 9 down the stretch in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, I think it's a very big deal because I don't believe, and this is just my speculation, I don't believe this was a one-off type of situation. I think this is something that's been going on for quite some time.
Have fun this weekend. What would you say to Brady if you saw him on Sunday?
Nice hair.
Okay.
Yeah, if I saw him?
Yeah.
I'd introduce myself, tell him I'm the guy who started this whole mess. And
what do you think he'd say to you, Bob?
Who are you? You're not Adam Schefter. You're not in as good a shape as Adam Schefter.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't think he knows me from that. Well, he probably knows me now, but don't particularly care. You know, the story we wrote at the time where the tweets were 1,000% correct, and that's something that New Englanders, it's funny to me how they're all acting victimized and martyred now, and when they're the ones who brought this upon themselves. It's like Spygate. You know, they went on that, you know, scorched earth deal after they were hit for Spygate. Well, who the hell's fault was that?
What would you have done if you covered the Patriots and you got this tip?
Same thing, I would hope.
Okay.
Yeah, if I was told that the Colts were engaging this sort of activity, I would have been all over it. I truly believe that any journalist who's worth his or her salt, would have done precisely the same thing.
Good to visit with you, Bob. Have fun this weekend.
Okay, take care, Dan.
That's
Thank
Bob
you.
Kravitz, WTHR.